From physically exhausting their own 5-year-olds with backbreaking household chores.
Will you put him in the dryer, pretty please?
Patrick is too young to be doing the stuff that he does. I should do everything for him.
To forcing their teenage daughters to scrub literal maggots out of their deteriorating skin folds.
It's such a humiliating place to be as a parent, but I have no choice.
These are the most neglectful parents ever seen on My 600-Pound Life, starting with Chad Dean, a father who forces young children to sacrifice their early childhoods just to manage his severe food addiction.
It's more of a habit. Food's taking control over my life. It makes me feel good to a point until I'm done eating it, and then I feel guilty.
Appearing on Season 4, Episode 3, weighing in at a massive 701 pounds, Chad's unhealthy relationship with food began early in life, fueled by a mother who constantly kept the fridge packed and inadvertently fed his addiction from a young age.
I had a mother who saw food as love. So there was a never-ending supply of food in our house growing up. If I ate something in the fridge, the next day it was replenished. So my brother, my sister, and I, we always had food.
But his habits completely spiraled out of control when he became a commercial trucker. He relied on an endless cycle of chips and a 12-pack of sodas every day on the road, and his weight ballooned until his left leg finally buckled under his massive frame as he tried to climb up into his truck's cab.
I went to get up in the truck, and I made up to the top step, and being the size I am, my left leg gave. And I came out of the truck onto the ground. It was right there and then is why I knew driving was over.
By the time we meet him, Chad had entirely stepped down from his role as the provider of the house, forced to choose the mattress and the living room chair over raising his own kids.
And now, my life is this chair. From the time I wake up in the morning till the time I go to bed at night.
His 10-year-old daughter, Takwa, and his 9-year-old autistic son, Jojo, were frequently forced to play on the playground alone with their mother.
We are a family, but it doesn't feel that way. When he fell out of the truck, he got it into his head, I can't do it. And ever since, all he has done was sit and eat and eat.
Don't you have fun?
The camera captures a father who is physically incapable of participating in their lives, visually dominating the household while contributing absolutely nothing to its survival.
Food is definitely killing me. My family is all I have left in my life.
Instead of seeking help earlier, Chad had turned his entire family into full-time enablers, with his wife Aisha being pushed to the brink of complete emotional exhaustion, forced into the role of a 24/7 caregiver while trying to raise the kids all on her own.
You ready?
Yeah.
My wife has to take care of me and clean me.
In one of the most painful moments of the episode, his young daughter Takwa admits that she just wants to see her dad lose weight and even confesses that it's a dream for her dad to get better so they can play.
I want my dad to lose weight so he can actually be able to play with me outside. That'd be like my ultimate #1 dream. I'd be so happy.
Seeing a child have to plead for a father's presence while he remains trapped in a self-inflicted prison of his own weight is a reality that left viewers reeling. While the situation was heartbreaking, viewers quickly noted how rare Aisha's boundaries were compared to other families. One Reddit user pointed out, "She's one of the few people on the show who insisted that the kids be allowed to act like children and not live-in carers for the parent."
She doesn't mind doing the things, but it bothers me. She's 10 years old. She should be able to be a kid.
The financial neglect was just as devastating as the emotional toll. To afford an appointment with Dr. Now, the family was forced to make the ultimate sacrifice, selling their only home.
I found a doctor online in the Houston area.
He said he would see me.
And we're selling the only thing that we own, which is our house. And we're uprooting and we're moving, and we have no idea what's in store for us. This is the biggest leap of faith we have ever taken.
but he's my last hope, and there's no one else that can help me.
Even Chad himself had a rare moment of heartbreaking self-awareness regarding the damage he was causing, admitting to the cameras that his wife and kids are sacrificing everything.
My wife and kids are sacrificing pretty much everything
So I can do this. I can't fail them.
But while Chad used his weight loss surgery as a wake-up call to finally step up and become a better father, our next parent proves that shedding the pounds doesn't magically cure the neglect after he abandoned his family in an entirely different way.
Once he got the surgery, his goal was to get a job and start helping more around the house. And he's not doing that.
Appearing on Season 4, Episode 3, weighing in at 625 pounds, Gideon's primary coping mechanism for his deep-rooted childhood trauma was hiding from his family to eat in secret early in the morning.
Rolls because I sweat a lot, so they get raw and chapped. And I have to wear 3 shirts every day just to absorb the sweat and to hide the fact that my man boobs are so big and my fat rolls are so big.
He actively avoided his wife Kay and their young son Jonathan, waking up before them just so he could gorge himself without dealing with what he called judgmental looks.
I have a wife and a son, and I try to get up before them because if they see me eating as much as I do, they're gonna say something. And I would rather just eat in peace. But I just want to eat a snack without someone giving me looks, telling me that I eat too much, or criticizing me about what I eat. But that's what's happened all my life.
Because Gideon was completely checked out, Kay was drowning. She explicitly stated on camera that she felt like a single mother raising 2 children, one of whom was her fully grown 600-pound husband.
I have to take care of him.
Go get the trash cans and drag them up here for me, please.
It's really stressful.
And it always feels like I am a single parent with 2 children.
And just like the previous case, the children are the ones who suffer the most in silence, as Jonathan made a heartbreaking confession.
I love my dad a lot. I want him to lose weight and be healthy so we can play outside more often.
Desperate to save their family, Kay sacrificed everything, moving them to Texas to get Dr. Now's help.
It's hotter than Hades today. Give me the drawers, please.
It's been a hard couple of weeks. And I know at this point I'm either all in or all out. So I've been adapting to new eating habits.
And against all odds, Gideon succeeded. He dropped the initial weight and was approved for gastric bypass surgery. This should have been the triumphant moment where Gideon finally took his son to the park, but instead, it became a nightmare of emotional abandonment.
I've been having dreams that there's complications that arise during surgery. So the closer I get to surgery, the more terrifying it's becoming because of what's at stake.
Stripped of his ability to physically stuff down his emotions with food, Gideon didn't turn to his family, but his mattress. He selfishly chose to sleep for endless, frustrating hours every single day.
I am really worried about Gideon right now. Once he got the surgery, his goal was to get a job and start helping more around the house. And he's not doing that. He sleeps most of the day because he doesn't get up to eat all day.
Do you want to eat a snack?
I can try. I can't eat a sandwich, but I can come find something.
I'm hoping this is just part of the recovery.
While Kay struggled to keep the household afloat and raise a highly active son entirely alone in a new city, Gideon simply checked out of reality.
He doesn't figure this out. I'm taking Jonathan and moving back to Oklahoma.
You feel up to going out?
I'm gonna go lay down.
Kay was pushed so far to the edge that she tearfully admitted that she couldn't even say the life-saving surgery was worth it because her husband was effectively gone.
It's really hard because I know that moving here and him being able to have the surgery is something that potentially saved his life. But on the flip side, knowing everything that we gave up, it makes it really hard to say, yeah, it was worth it.
As one Reddit user pointed out how completely valid it was for a spouse to build deep resentment in these situations, noting that it's one thing to step up if a loved one came down with an unavoidable disease that required the full-time help, but this is an emotional trap. Dr. Nowzarden warned that this behavior was due to the loss of his primary coping mechanism, and eventually, through therapy, Gideon did confront his demons.
I have tears over my dad's death daily almost because I feel like I could have prevented it. But you do feel responsible for your father's death.
Yeah.
All right, take your time, Gideon.
He eventually woke up, got a job, and the couple even welcomed a second child. But the damage was already done. His intense emotional absence was permanent. The foundation of the marriage had already been shattered, and the couple ultimately divorced.
But a few years later, they would end up divorcing. Gideon does post some stuff on his various social media. It does look like he is in a new relationship. And while he doesn't mention his actual weight loss journey or post any weights or anything like that, we can clearly see that he has continued on it.
Reacting to the fallout of the relationship, a viewer on Reddit highlighted how these dynamic shifts often break someone completely. She may have collapsed under the weight of repressed anger and sadness in the years she spent taking care of her husband. Having to take care of someone whose mental and physical health is so compromised is exhausting and depressing. Gideon's story is a stark reminder that you can surgically fix the stomach, but if you choose to sleep through your child's life, you're still failing as a father. Which brings us to Bianca Hayes, a mother who took a completely different approach, parenting entirely from a seated position. When we met her, she was almost immobile, which rendered her trapped in a chair most of the time, forcing her 5-year-old son to take on the emotional and physical weight of her food addiction. Appearing on Season 10, Episode 3, weighing in at over 600 pounds, Bianca's unhealthy relationship with food was deeply rooted in severe childhood trauma. She was raised by an alcoholic mother who used food as a way to shut her up. Bianca hit 200 pounds by the age of 7, and after her mother passed away from cardiac arrest and Bianca survived a physically abusive relationship with her eldest son's father, food became her only reliable comfort.
He started to go to alcohol and he started to get drunk. And it started just cussing, spitting. And then when I was about 5 months pregnant, he got violent.
By the time we meet her, Bianca was already struggling to walk, and even basic household chores like washing the dishes had to be done from a seated position. And because her body's in constant pain, her boyfriend Ramonte is forced to handle the hands-on parenting for her 5-year-old son Simeon and 2-year-old daughter Marcia. But Bianca's addiction was so intense that it frequently drowned out her maternal instincts. In one deeply frustrating scene, young Simeon desperately tries to get his mother's attention while Ramonte prepares her meal. And instead of engaging with her child, Bianca quickly puts a finger on her lips to shush him, her eyes completely fixated on the food being made.
The worst part is that my weight makes me less of a mom. And it's just hard because I'm not able to walk much. My weight has impacted my family.
Her obsession was endless. The camera captures the terrifying reality of her appetite when, mere seconds after swallowing the last bite of her breakfast, her mind immediately jumps to her next meal.
You slow down.
Slow down?
Yeah.
For what? I'm done, baby.
You get enough.
I'm ready for lunch.
I bet you are.
The physical space her addiction demanded actively punished their children. In their small family car, the front seats had to be pushed so far back to accommodate her massive frame that Simeon and Marcia were left completely cramped in the back.
I know I'm going to have to drive with pain and agony. I'm going to have to start out by getting something to eat.
And when she did have to move, her extreme exhaustion became a burden her 5-year-old had to absorb. During a grueling walk down a motel hallway, a breathless Bianca is forced to lean heavily against the wall just to keep moving. Instead of a mother guiding her child, little Simeon steps right up to her side, gently holding onto his mom to comfort and support her as they slowly walk down the hall together.
At one point, I thought I wanted to turn around, that I wasn't going to be able to make it.
For the audience, seeing a 5-year-old forced to act as the emotional anchor for his own mother was devastating. As one commenter put it, "The son Simeon had me in tears at a weigh-in. You could see the love between them. Those poor babies watching their mom go through the struggles." Viewers were also deeply disturbed by how her addiction frequently blinded her to her children's basic needs. As one Reddit user pointed out regarding a shocking fast food run on their way to Houston. When she was at the second drive-thru and told them that she would give them their food after she gets situated and then starts eating before feeding the kids, that was too much for me.
Hopefully, baby, maybe for about 2 hours.
Oh, so.
You know, I'm gonna get help to change my addiction.
But here's where Bianca earns her redemption. After an argument that led to a breakup with Ramonte and moving to Houston, she hit a wall.
That's Marcia's daddy, and I love him. Whether Monte know it or not, you know, KK, that I always look out for his best interests. And all he keeps saying, KK, is that I'm leaving him. I said, Monte, I'm not leaving you. I have to do what I got to do for my health. I got to get better for my kids. It's not right for you wanting me to put my life on hold and my health on hold for you. That's not right.
Doctor now warned her that since she had already failed the previous gastric sleeve surgery years ago,
it's always a concern if any patient looking for weight loss surgery has already had one and failed. In those situations, the chances of long-term success are less than 1%.
Bianca took that brutal reality check to heart, started therapy to conquer her emotional eating.
What do you think she was doing by feeding you so much?
Just trying to keep me quiet so she could drink.
Okay. Did you have friends?
I didn't really call them friends because friends don't talk about you.
It actually made Simeon her daily workout partner instead of her caretaker.
I'm gonna do the first count and then you count, okay? You ready? 1, 2.
After dropping 48 pounds, doctor now officially approved her for second surgery.
You're doing great, and I'm proud of your progress. So keep it up, and we get you to operation, and this time you want to be successful.
When Bianca asked Simeon if he was excited, the little boy just covered his face in pure joy and hugged her, finally getting the active mother he had been praying for.
Did you understand what he said, Simeon? He's gonna do mommy's surgery. Are you excited? You excited?
He's not sure about it, huh? He's proud of mom, too.
You are?
But while Bianca fought her way out of the chair to save her relationship with her children, our next mother never even tried to leave the mattress, entirely abandoning her kids to the streets. Appearing on Season 7, Episode 16, weighing in at 662 pounds, LaShonta White had been entirely bedbound for over 2.5 years. LaShonta's life was a destructive and tragic cycle of repeating the exact same mistakes. After her father abandoned the family when she was 9, she turned to food. By 13, she was over 200 pounds and pregnant by a 16-year-old who immediately denied the child.
At first, I had kept my pregnancy from my mom. I really thought she was gonna get mad, but she didn't. She just told me the fun time is over. You're gonna get a job and you're gonna take care of your own baby.
Kicked out of her mother and forced to work for herself and the baby, she got a job at a fast food place that further worsened her weight.
And in the midst of all that food at work, I eat on the clock, I eat on the break, I ate when I came home.
Instead of breaking the cycle, she fell into a pattern of bringing children into the world with men who didn't care about her or the kids in question.
That time, I met someone new, and we started dating. And I got pregnant with my second child. So I had my daughter Gallery when I was 17. And after that, my boyfriend got abusive. And he'd get really jealous and controlling of me. I remember one time I was asleep. He climbed through the window and was standing over me with a butcher knife. And his words was to me, you better be lucky nobody was up in here with you, because both of y'all was going to be gutted up like a perch.
But surviving that nightmare didn't change a thing. Just a few years later, she found herself completely abandoned all over again.
Because I met someone new when I was 21, and I got pregnant with my third child, and had Jeremy when I was 22. But his father left me to raise him on my own, so I was in the same situation again.
Left entirely alone to raise 3 kids, the emotional pressure continued to add up, and by her late 20s, history tragically repeated itself one last time.
And then when I was 27, I started dating somebody I met who treated me really well. And I had my 4th child with him, Sean, when I was 28. But he started to become abusive toward me and started cheating on me.
By the time that final relationship imploded, she had eaten her way to over 600 pounds, her legs went stiff, and she permanently retreated to her mattress. By the time we met her, she was with her new boyfriend, JT, a man she literally met while lying on a hospital stretcher. Instead of helping her get healthy, JT happily stepped into the role of her primary enabler, feeding her addiction by bringing food right to her mattress. But JT wasn't the only one trapped in her web. Her sons were also made enablers, and they didn't really have a choice in the matter, as her son Jeremy chillingly explained when asked why he continues to bring her the food that is actively killing her.
I'd rather she eat more healthy stuff, you know? But like, when my mom asked me to bring her stuff, I bring it to her. Cause if I say no to mom, she might go 0 to 100 on me.
The cost of her absence in parenting was devastating. In a rare moment of self-awareness, LaShanta tearfully breaks down as she reveals the dark path her oldest son, Tyrone, ended up taking while she was trapped in that bed.
My oldest son, Tyrone, he went to jail. And I feel guilty sometimes because just taking care of my children, I can't do that, being a mother from the bed.
Her bed had become her entire world, a fact that led to one of the most disturbing visuals of the season. Because she couldn't get up, LaShanta was filmed preparing raw breaded chicken directly on her mattress, the same bed she relieved herself on. Viewers were equally disgusted by the physical environment she forced her family to accept as normal. As one user pointed out, watching her cook in bed was a joke. If I was the kid or boyfriend, I'd learn to love cereal and sandwiches. Her cooking and then serving meals between her legs? Why do they think they're doing something? But even when Dr. Now finally threw her a lifeline and placed her on a strict diet, the sabotage continued. After her enabler boyfriend JT abandoned her simply because he preferred her morbidly obese, LaShanta struggled to cope.
I've always been attracted to big women. So when I see LaShanta is continuing to lose weight, like I worry a little bit.
The camera struggles her hiding fried chicken directly inside her bed just so she could secretly binge.
Like Dr. Now said, I can have chicken. So I'm eating my grilled chicken, but I still have to make the fried chicken like I always do for my family. Because they shouldn't have to suffer because of me. And I just sneak a little bit of it when no one's looking. And maybe stash a little for later. That doesn't mean I'm not working hard. I'm still doing things like making sure my vegetables are steamed with no butter, like Dr. Now said. So I'm doing my best to work on it.
And instead of leading on the program to get back on track, she actively dragged her kids right into her relapse. Despite the strict diet she was on consisted of mainly protein, she forced her teenage son to order her Domino's pizza and hide the evidence, making him a reluctant accomplice in her own destruction.
I am hungry and I want something to eat.
Like what?
I got a taste for some pizza.
You got us some pizza, but you can't get none.
Sean, I can't take this. I just need about 2-3 slices, and I could work it off.
You have to lose the weight.
I done salad it out. I done chicken it out. I done fish it out. I need some grease.
The audience didn't miss how deeply the addiction had hijacked her role as a mother. As one viewer pointed out, one of the main things I remember about her episode is how she was literally shaking with anticipation, waiting for her son to bring the pizza that they delivered into her bedroom for her to eat. She was like twitching like a junkie about to shoot up for the first time of the day. The constant self-sabotage led to missed weigh-ins and appointments.
I was supposed to be back at Dr. Now's last month for my follow-up. But because my boyfriend left me, I don't have anyone to go with me. So I don't know how I'm gonna make it back down right now.
When Dr. Now finally confronted her, LaShanta refused to take accountability. She delivered a barrage of excuses over the phone, blaming her failures on how hard her life was, rather than the food she was actively hiding in her bedroom.
Because you were supposed to be back for your follow-up a few days ago. And show me you're sticking to the diet. So why haven't you been back to see us?
Well, the reason why I haven't been coming is that I had a lot going on in my life. Because I'm going through some financial stuff and me and Babe, my boyfriend, not together no more.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but usually when someone gives me the excuses, it means they haven't been doing the diet. So is that what's going on with you?
I must confess, Dr. Now, I've been cheating.
What happened to all the positivity about turning your life around and telling me you're ready to do whatever it takes?
I don't know. It's just been a lot harder than I thought.
So what? Does that mean that you should just give up on your health and your life?
Dr. Now immediately saw right through the manipulation and threatened to drop her from the program entirely.
So it's clear you went home and you didn't do your diet. And keep saying, I'm going to do it, give me the chance. We've given you every chance possible now. And you got to kill yourself with the food. And there's nothing we can do to stop you from that. You keep promising and begging for another chance. This is all just a game to you, and you ran out of time. You've had the chance to do this for 9 months now, but instead you keep lying to yourself and keep lying to me. So at this point, all the evidence is telling me that you're never gonna lose the weight.
I am gonna lose the weight, Dr. Now.
This ultimatum exposed the most tragic reality of LaShanta's journey, her complete inability to put her children first. Her constant excuses and refusal to commit to the diet weren't just a failure of the program, but a direct reflection of her parental neglect. Even when handed a literal lifeline to be there for her family, she lacked the discipline to follow through, proving that she wasn't just physically absent from her kids' lives. She was actively choosing her food addiction over their future. But while LaShanta eventually fought to relieve her teenage sons of their horrific caretaking duties, our next mother took the emotional neglect to a different level, as she risked the life of her child just to keep feeding her childish addiction. Appearing on Season 2, Episode 6, weighing in at over 500 pounds, Paula's food addiction had entirely stripped away her ability to be a parent. The physical toll of her massive frame meant that simple tasks like taking her daughter to the playground were impossible.
All of the day-to-day tasks, cooking a meal, walk my daughter to the playground.
All the things that people take for granted are very difficult for me to do.
She eventually admitted the brutal reality of her home life, where her children were no longer allowed to be kids.
I have 4 children. The kids really are the ones who take care of the house. At this weight, I am heavily dependent on my children.
Her teenage daughter, Madison, was forced into the role of the primary caregiver. The camera captures the heartbreaking reality of a child having to put on her mother's soccer shoes and rub lotion on her legs.
Lift your foot up. I can't reach her feet, so I would have to put lotion on her legs and put her soccer shoes on.
And this was a daily routine that left Madison to confess the weight of her stolen childhood.
Kind of feels like she's handicapped. I do feel like I do more than a teenager should be doing.
The parentification was everywhere, to a point that whenever they went shopping, her young daughter was the one pushing carts and loading up their groceries, while she sat back watching. A clear shift where her child was forced to act more like a parent than she was. Like many cases, Paula's weight was a trauma shield. After surviving a horrific molestation by a family member at just 6 years old, she intentionally used the weight to build a physical barrier against the world to protect herself. The emotional neglect gets worse when you realize her children had already watched their father die from heart and kidney failure at just 33 years old due to his struggles with his weight.
His kidneys weren't functioning correctly, and his kidneys were affecting his heart, and his heart wasn't functioning correctly. His health got worse and worse. And when his heart stopped, we couldn't resuscitate him. And that was it.
Now they were forced to watch their mother walk the exact same path. The pure terror of this reality was captured when Paula mentioned one heartbreaking plea from her 8-year-old daughter.
They just lost their dad. My 8-year-old, she said it. Mommy, I don't want you to die.
Despite that sad wake-up call, Paula constantly prioritized her cravings over her children's peace of mind.
Every time that there's an event or a family gathering, we have lots of food. I associate food with every good moment. It's going to be hard to break that habit.
When Dr. Now told her to lose 20 pounds on her own for her surgery, she failed completely and returned to his office having gained 17 pounds instead. She routinely made excuses, using her kids' need to eat as a justification to hit the drive-thru, where she would order unhealthy food for herself.
There aren't a lot of healthy options at drive-thrus, but my kids have to eat.
The intense grip of Paula's eating habits didn't go unnoticed by viewers, with one pointing out just how deep her addiction ran. There was one woman, Paula, probably not the correct name, watched her recently. She'd had a surgery before Dr. Now and a surgery with Dr. Now, and she spoke often of this feeling that she must eat. She was the only one I've actually seriously questioned as to whether or not it wasn't primarily a food addiction, so much as an eating compulsion. Her entitlement peaked during her daughter's family birthday gathering.
Today's Savannah's birthday, and I'm happy we're celebrating it here with all the family. Like all family gatherings, there's lots of food. It's gonna be hard for me to resist because food is happiness.
After barely lifting a finger to help, she retreated to the couch in another room, flatly telling the camera she was simply choosing not to be part of the cleanup crew and avoiding to stay active.
I'm choosing not to be part of the cleanup crew. I'm not tired, I'm not achy, I'm not anything. I'm choosing not to be part of it. I wanna.
Leading to some tension, reaching a breaking point when Madison finally opened up to her aunt about Paula's constant refusal to move.
It's not like I could be like, Mom, you have to do da-da-da. And she's like, I don't have to do nothing. There's always an excuse, so.
It is hard, Madison, but I'm just trying to say, keep encouraging her.
Her early journey with Dr. Now was filled with self-sabotage and weight gain.
Am I gain weight?
Yes.
That sucks.
But when Paula finally agreed to see a therapist, the massive emotional wall she'd built began to crumble. She confronted the deeply buried anger from her childhood abuse and finally processed the grief of her husband's death instead of burying it in food.
I think Dr. Now is right. You gotta believe in yourself and get motivated. You have to. You have to know true despair in order to know true grace. But in the end, life is about both.
Once she conquered her mind, her body followed. Paula hit the 100-pound weight loss milestone, dyed her hair in celebration of her new life, and radically changed the dynamic with her children. Instead of forcing Madison to act as her nurse, Paula finally stepped up as a mother. But while Paula eventually stepped up to save her relationship with her daughters, our next mother's story ends in a heartbreaking reality that proves that some cycles of neglect are deeply bound to unhealed tragedy. Appearing on Season 8, Episode 12, weighing in at a massive 643 pounds, Khalees's physical decline had entirely inverted the parenting dynamic in her home. Because she could no longer care for herself, she made the choice to move her two daughters into her sister Mindy's house. And at just 39 years old, Khaleesa suffered a massive heart attack that nearly ended her life.
My brother was over visiting at the time, and so he called 911. By that time, the ambulance had made it there. My heart gave out, and it stopped. And when they got me to the hospital, it was too big to do surgery on, so they never fixed my heart.
The doctors weren't able to fix her heart because of her weight, and she knew she wouldn't survive another one. Yet, despite knowing that she was in danger, she still went on with her bad eating habits, entirely unable to stop. Her refusal to put down the food forced her daughters to stand by and watch their mother live a deteriorating life on a mattress. Watching her completely give up left her kids completely desperate, and the cameras captured just how much it was hurting them when her daughter made a heartbreaking confession.
I feel like my mama deserves a normal life, and it hurts me because I just want her to do better, and I want her to be there for us.
Her reliance on food was a shield built over a lifetime of horrific child abuse. After losing her mother to cancer at just 3 years old, she was left with an angry, alcoholic biological father. And when she was 12, her father betrayed her in the most monstrous way imaginable.
When I was 12, my dad got remarried to a 16-year-old girl. So he came and got me and my brother. But I found out later it was because he wanted to get welfare checks. And it was like all of a sudden I was back in my nightmare. But it was worse now because of my stepmother. Because she was horrible to me and my brother. And she expected us to call her mom. So when I told her I would never call her mom, she came up to me and she slapped me. We fought pretty good. And so when my dad came in and he saw how bad she was beat up, well, my dad, he was drunk and he snatched me up. We rode about 5 miles down the road. He left me at my great uncle's house, recently out of jail for raping and molesting 4 of his grandchildren, knowing he was gonna rape me.
Her father explicitly told the uncle to teach her what a grown woman does.
And afterwards, I should have been sent to a hospital, but my father tried to hide it. My face was beat up. Well, the school called my foster mom, and she came and got me. But all that had happened to me just kind of started to sink in. My biological dad and his uncle, they took something from me that I could never get back.
Viewers were absolutely stunned by the sheer cruelty of what she had endured at such a young age, with one Reddit user writing, "Okay, so I decided to rewatch Khalees's episode and holy shit, she had a terrible childhood. Hope her father and uncle burn in hell. I swear, hearing stories like hers makes me want to start an all-woman tactical team that specializes in making rapists and child predators disappear. Food became her only reliable comfort, and the trauma only compounded as she grew up. At 16, she got pregnant with her oldest daughter, Victoria, whom she couldn't take care of and had to leave with her family. Soon after, she fell right into the arms of an incredibly jealous and abusive husband.
But he turned out to be very jealous and very abusive. So the next 10 years of my life, I was eating to deal with the abuse and getting bigger and having my other 3 kids.
For 10 grueling years, Kalisa stayed in that abusive marriage, having 3 more kids while eating just to survive the violence. She finally gathered the courage to pack up the children and escape in the middle of the night, but the emotional damage was already done.
You know, I had my second child, Hannah, when I was 23, and I was over 400 pounds then. And then I had my third child when I was 25. I gave birth to Caitlin, and I was about 460 then. But when I was 29, I had my 4th child, Sadie Gale, and I was around 500 pounds then. But after I had Sadie, my husband got arrested and finally went to jail. And that's when I felt that I could finally leave him.
It wasn't until her late 30s that she finally found happiness when she met her fiancé, Melvin.
It was almost like we instantly fell in love, you know? And me and my kids moved in with him. So life got better for a while.
But right around the same time she suffered her massive heart attack, tragedy struck again when she lost her only loving fiancé. Losing the one bright spot in her life resulted in her going back to food.
He got into a car wreck and didn't survive. And that devastated me. But I did what I had to do to get through it. And that was to eat so I didn't fall apart. Now I spend the majority of my time in my bed.
Her life had been so violently unfair that even the show's most critical watchers found themselves justifying her addiction, with one saying, "I got pretty numb and cynical towards the sad life stories, but dear God, hers was horrific. I found myself saying, girl, you can eat whatever the hell you want, but I was really rooting for her to succeed. I hope she can overcome this." It got so bad that her body was so severely broken down by the weight that she couldn't even survive the road trip to Dr. Now in Houston alone. She had to heavily rely on prescription painkillers just to endure the ride.
It's gonna take something like 3 to 4 hours to get there. And I'm mostly worried about the pain of being in the car for that long. I have some of my old pain pills, and my foster sister Amber and my daughter Hannah are gonna be there to help me. But I'm gonna do my best and try to do whatever I can to get through this and make it there.
Unfortunately, Kalisa's approach to the program mirrored the exact same neglectful attitude she displayed toward her family. When she failed to hit her initial weight loss targets, she didn't reflect on how her choices impacted her children.
Last time I was here, I was at 643. And my goal was to lose 50 pounds in a month. If I made it to the 50-pound goal today, that means I'll be under 593.
616.
And instead broke down in defensive tears when the scale exposed her total failure to follow the plan.
I just don't understand how it didn't lose more. I worked so hard, and I'm just really, really disappointed right now.
Rather than stepping up as a parent, she aggressively threw a tantrum directly at the doctor, deflecting blame to cover up her choices and mask her lack of control.
I tried.
No, you didn't, because if you tried, you would have lost more than half of what you should have at this point. So you studied him 4 to 5 times what you should.
Now I want to tell you all so bad. I've done everything that you told me to do. I did my 1,400 calories. I did exercises. I don't even go in my wheelchair no more. But you're acting like I didn't do anything. I've completely quit smoking, and I'm already upset enough at myself, but don't sit there and try to say that I did not do what you asked me to do, because I did.
And despite eventually being pushed through to receive gastric sleeve surgery, her years of severe physical neglect had already taken an irreversible toll on her body. Despite succeeding at the very end of the episode, her system had simply undergone too much permanent damage from decades of severe strain. On September 22, 2020, Kalisa passed away at just 41 years old. Following the tragic news, the network officially released a public statement honoring her journey. It remains one of the most heartbreaking cases in the history of the series, and a harsh reminder that while you can eventually find the discipline to fight your demons, sometimes time simply runs out. But while Kalisa tragically ran out of time to undo the physical damage and give her daughters their mother back, our next parent was given one final wake-up call to pull herself from the brink of death and free her children from their caretaking burdens. Appearing on Season 6, Episode 11, weighing in at 631 pounds, Renee's daily existence was defined by pure agony. Every morning began with excruciating pain and the constant fear of suffocating in her sleep.
Getting out of bed for me is very painful. From my back to my legs, it's just pain that I can't even describe. And every day it gets harder to move and harder to breathe.
Her children were forced to do absolutely everything, stripping away their own mother's dignity by helping her bathe because there were spots she could no longer reach.
It's very humiliating for me to have to ask my daughter to help me in the shower because I remember bathing her when she was a baby. She shouldn't have to help bathe me.
And dressing her simply because she was too exhausted to do it herself afterwards. As her daughter somberly explained, this extreme parentification wasn't exactly a choice.
It's hard to be a caretaker for my mom, but somebody has to do it. She needs us.
Renee's descent into this nightmare started early in life. Born from her mother's affair with a best friend's husband, she grew up in her own home feeling entirely unloved.
I never felt like my mom loved me. Even to this day, I'm 53 years old and I can't recall a time of ever feeling like my mom ever loved me.
That emotional neglect opened the door to horrific abuse from her stepfather, leading her to seek comfort in food. By junior high, she got pregnant at just 15, dropped out of school, and married her deeply abusive first husband. After surviving brutal beatings from him, she eventually left, going on to have a total of 6 children between him and 2 other boyfriends, with a daughter from each. Through it all, her daughters remember her fighting to provide.
When I was young, she worked hard. She made sure we ate, had clothes, went to school. She was a devoted mother.
But after a car accident at 450 pounds left her unable to work, Renee turned to the darkest corners of the internet to survive.
I needed a way to make money, and that's when I discovered the internet. Not only did I find out that there was men out there that like big women, but there was also men out there that love to watch women eat. They're called feeders.
She began performing in the feeder and squashing fetish communities, getting paid by men online to binge eat and sit on them.
So they would pay me to eat while they watched online. And as a single mom, I found a way to feed my children and keep a roof over my kids' head by being a feedie. And feeding led me to discover squashing. Squashing is something where somebody pays you to sit on them. They would want someone to sit on them because that was their way of losing control. But for me, it meant I could support my family.
To viewers, the link between her stolen childhood and the extreme way she tried to survive was super clear. As one viewer wrote, Renee's story was utterly horrifying at the beginning due to the severe physical, emotional, and sexual abuse that she suffered as a child. I thought I was watching the true story of the film Precious. It's no wonder that she had a child at 15 and went on to become a sex worker. The money kept a roof over their heads, but the physical cost was catastrophic. By 45, she was over 500 pounds, routinely calling EMTs just to pick her up off the floor.
My health started to fall apart. I was living alone, but I started losing my balance and falling. And I would have to call EMTs to help me come and get up off the floor. And I realized that my body had gotten so big and I was unable to take care of myself.
By her early 50s, she completely lost her independence, moving in with her 2 oldest kids and deeply inconveniencing their lives.
I can't do anything for myself. So my kids provide all the help that I need. From hygiene to cooking, they do everything for me.
Because they were held hostage by her dependency, they became full-time enablers.
She don't really come out of her room, so everything has to be brought to her. And she's not satisfied unless she's eating. And me and all my siblings probably enable my mom because we don't want to tell her no.
Her entire day was reduced to sitting in bed, waiting for food, and staring out the window at her grandkids playing. The burden on her family was extreme. Her son Brent was forced into fast food runs 6 to 7 times a week, ultimately losing multiple opportunities.
But every day I just do what she needs me to do. I go pick up food maybe 6, 7 times a week. It gets frustrating because I've done lost jobs because of having to be there, giving her support.
Fans watched Brent sacrifice his own 20s to keep his mother comfortable, leaving many wondering how he managed to survive the dysfunction at all. As one viewer pointed out, saying, "I think he turned out well despite his mother. I'm not even talking about her career choices. Given how niche those were, without putting it out there, he could have gone his whole life without knowing his mother did that to support the family. I just don't think she was very nurturing or was much of a role model." The guilt of stealing her children's futures weighed heavily on her, leading to a dark confession.
I know my children worry about me dying like this, and I carry a tremendous guilt, knowing that I depend on my kids for everything. Sometimes I think I'd rather be dead so I could be out of their way.
Desperate to change, Renee began the agonizing road trip to Dr. Now, but her failing body pushed her past the breaking point, culminating in a terrifying respiratory emergency on the highway that forced paramedics to pull her straight into the ER. Once under Dr. Now's care, the road to redemption wasn't easy. Renee initially self-sabotaged, skipping physical therapy and making excuses until near kidney failure and a strict ultimatum forced her into psychotherapy. By finally confronting the trauma of her past with her therapist Lola, Renee broke her toxic cycle and proceeded to conquer her 60-pound weight loss goal. Dr. Now officially qualified her for gastric bypass surgery, ultimately dropping over 200 pounds and giving her children their lives back.
Thanks for getting my mom back. Thanks for helping change her life. And, it's been 15 years since I've been able to sit on the front porch with her, and so I appreciate that.
But while Renee's children were forced to become her 24/7 caretakers, our next subject's addiction completely stripped her of the ability to be a mother at all. Appearing on season 12, episode 1, weighing nearly 600 pounds, Zalin spent up to 8 hours a day essentially stuck to her couch. Her severe immobility meant that she was limited in her role as a mother in her young daughter Hannah's life. Instead of raising her own child, Zalin's descent into extreme obesity forced her friend Bonnie to step in and do the heavy lifting of parenting. Her absence wasn't just physical either. It was driven by an all-consuming obsession with sugary foods. Sugar was a full-blown obsession for her. She worshipped it, openly confessing the terrifying grip it had on her.
It's my crack cocaine, it's my heroin, it's my everything.
The addiction went so deep that she described the physical act of eating sugary pastries as something far beyond a normal craving.
It's really, really good. It's so sugary, sweet, and delicious. I just want to make love to them with my mouth. Exactly. It's like a sexual thing for me, obviously.
The unyielding love for sugar completely crippled her ability to be present. And while Zalin remained glued to the couch, Bonnie, her friend, who had previously lost weight after they met in their fat acceptance group, was the one with Hannah mostly when it came to physical activities. The reality of her mother's constant absence weighed heavily on Hannah's young shoulders.
It makes me feel a little sad because my mom is missing out on some fun stuff.
Even Zalin's husband, Gareth, recognized the emotional toll her inevitable early death would take on their child.
I feel like I'm gonna be dead within 5 years. Tell me when. That's a sophomore in high school for my daughter. I feel like if I die, she's gonna be the one that suffers more than anybody.
It worries me for myself, but it terrifies me for Hannah. I don't even like to think about it, to be honest with you, but I mean, if anything did happen to Zalin, I know Hannah would be devastated.
Terrified of leaving Hannah without a mother, Zalin made the grueling trip to Dr. Now's clinic. But during her consultation, she was hit with a harsh reality check. Zalin believed the gastric bypass would magically block her ability to eat sugar, forcing Dr. Now to explain the hard truth about the procedure.
So what do you think is causing you to be almost 600?
I didn't look at the scale, that's why.
So
I'm a sugarholic. Sugar is my drug of choice.
how do you look that surgery is going to change that?
You're gonna take out some of my intestines, and the second sugar hits my intestine, I'm gonna be very sick.
You gotta have some realistic expectation from surgery. All the surgery is gonna do for you, keep you from eating a lot at one time. How many times you're gonna eat and what kind of food you're gonna eat is gonna be the key issue to make surgery be successful.
Okay.
If you have a false hope that surgery is gonna keep you from eating sugar, no, that's not gonna happen.
The weight had immobilized her so bad that she couldn't even walk her own daughter to the playground.
Starting today, I have to change everything about everything.
I can't do what I want to do. I've missed out on so much. I want that to stop and I want things to change.
So you want me to let you walk all the way over there and then I'm gonna drive and I'm just gonna watch you through the fence?
Yes.
You're okay with that?
Sure.
You gonna walk with them, Amy?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, of course.
Hannah, walk slow, please. It's not a race.
I'm tired of having to rely on other people to do the things that I want to do. I can't even walk around the gate to get into Hannah's favorite playground.
This is the main playground. See, people would come out here and they'd ride their bikes.
Yet despite her mother's physical limitations, Hannah's incredible sweetness shone through as she ran back to the fence just to be close to her.
Hannah says it doesn't bother her, but I know it does.
Where are you going?
You don't need to come over here.
I know.
You can just go and swing.
I know.
I feel like my weight is costing her a normal childhood.
Motivated by her daughter's unconditional love, Zalin pushed through the pain and lost 28 pounds, officially earning her approval for surgery.
I'm not gonna lie, the past month has been tough. But I'm excited to see if all my hard work has paid off, then I can finally get my surgery.
It's really awesome. I'm really excited.
While Zalin was fighting for her life to be a better mom, Gareth was actively working against her, as a man who openly admitted his preferences.
I mean, I'm a little bit sad because, you know, I like bigger women, so it's a little upsetting to lose what you like. But I mean, gonna have to get over it.
Why do you have to be such a negative Nancy?
We'll see. Let's hope it doesn't turn around to bite us in the butt. I've always liked bigger women, Why settle for a hot dog when you can have a steak?
Viewers were completely repulsed by Gareth's priorities, as one user complained, "He drove me up a damn wall. He was whiny piss baby about the whole thing. She wasn't losing weight to spite him. She was literally doing it to survive and be the best mom she could be to that child. He acted like he'd never get his rocks off again." His reaction to her post-surgery success was unbelievably callous.
I haven't talked to my husband since surgery, and I don't know if he's gonna be supportive or if he's just not.
Hello? Oh my God, I'm so happy you asked. I've lost 78 pounds. So you're sick? Why didn't you go to work?
I couldn't sleep. If it makes you feel any better, me and Brandon, we went to the tackle stand.
Okay. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'll talk to you later. All right. Talk to you later.
Gareth's sabotage only escalated from there. After showing up 2 hours late to pick her up from the hospital,
You there? You haven't lost much weight yet. I was expecting to look a lot skinnier straight after, man.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't lost 75 pounds.
I'm not looking to do no dieting, mind. I mean, I'll be considerate around you eating, but I'm not looking to do no dieting.
he immediately drove to a fast food window, brazenly telling her that he wouldn't diet for her sake before forcing her to hold his burger.
Oh yeah, I smell bacon. Bacon makes everything right. Yeah, number 5, medium with a Diet Coke. I'll watch my weight. Don't be tempted now.
I'm not even a little bit tempted.
Eating my food. No chip.
If he's going to go ahead and try and tempt me like this, it's hurtful.
It's a little bit nauseating, to be honest.
On my burger.
I think I married a jerk, but I think he doesn't know any other way.
When Zalin finally started going to the gym to accelerate her progress, Gareth mocked her efforts, and when she asked for a simple salad at a drive-thru, he flat out refused, sparking a stunningly toxic exchange that pushed even young Hannah to her breaking point.
You hungry, Hannah?
Yes.
What you want?
I don't know.
I'd rather have a salad.
I'm not buying you a salad. If you want to eat grass, you can go in the garden and graze.
Guys, please, you're getting me more frustrated.
Keep your frustration out on the vacuum cleaner.
Why did you have to marry him?
Hannah, I married him because if I hadn't married him, I wouldn't have you, baby.
So, worth it?
No, I agree with Hannah. It wasn't worth it.
The audience watching at home was absolutely gutted for her child, as one user said in a discussion about the exchange. And the little girl yelling, "Why did you have to marry him? That poor girl is going to suffer some serious trauma-related struggles when she grows up. It's so sad." Despite her husband's relentless attempts to derail her, Zalin refused to let her daughter down again.
This is the lowest I've been in a long time. I'm less than 400 pounds. Now my relationship with food is all about fuel. This packet has 18 grams of protein and only 80 calories for the whole packet.
How's that crap?
Tuna and avocado.
Pushing past the cruel sabotage, she ultimately reclaimed her life, finally completing the one task she had dreamed of, walking Hannah to the playground all by herself. But while Zalin fought through the sabotage to successfully reclaim her role as a mother, our next guardian took the exact opposite path, choosing her own delusions over the young girl placed in her care. Appearing on Season 7, Episode 15, weighing exactly 608 pounds, Angela Gutierrez spent every single morning waking up to sheer, unexplainable agony. When she tries to put her daily physical experience into words, the description is almost too intense to process. Her severe immobility not only ruined her own quality of life, but it also meant that she was severely limited in her role as a guardian for her 11-year-old cousin, Lacey, who had been placed in her care.
I took Lacey because her mom and dad are making some bad decisions right now in life, so it's best that she stays with me.
Instead of providing a stable and active home, Angela's physical decline had turned her living situation into a space where Lacey was constantly pulled into her orbit to assist with daily tasks. Because Angela was unable to stand and cook for herself, she relied on 11-year-old Lacey to reach the items she couldn't access from her chair. The audience was worried about what it was doing to Lacey. One user put it bluntly, "God, I feel for Lacey so much. I feel like she's going to develop an eating disorder in the other direction. And she's basically got to be the parent in the relationship while Angela gets to be a kid. That's some twisted, subtle child abuse I can't stand." Her food intake became so extreme that it reached a point where even young Lacey couldn't help but question the sheer amount of food on her plate.
My favorite thing in the morning is sausage and cheesy eggs.
Sure you're gonna eat all that?
Yep.
And the cycle only continued once Lacey left for school, as she ate even more.
But then Lacey's Aunt Stacy takes her to school.
All right, I see you, Ange.
Bye, hon. And while she's at school, I'll eat nonstop.
The environment was reinforced by Angela's adult daughter, who brought her fast food, fully aware that her mother was in an impossible position.
My mom will ask me to pick her up fast food. She's become completely housebound. She can barely cook. With her lymphedema, I understand that she cannot do that no more. So I just want to pick up the slack.
Rather than recognizing this as a medical emergency, Angela framed their routine as a bonding tradition for herself, her daughter, and her granddaughter.
That's kind of our thing. Me, Andrea, Emma, we eat lunch together, play games. I don't want to be in this bed, but I can't do nothing about it.
It was a dynamic where the daughter watched on and admitted that she knew that her mother was using food as a shield for her chronic pain, even though that same comfort was what kept her mother trapped. The desperate need for comfort was rooted in a highly chaotic and tragic past. Growing up feeling entirely unloved and constantly judged by her own mother for her size, Angela spiraled into toxic relationships and extreme weight gain. She actually had a gastric bypass in her 20s, but after her abusive husband left her that same day of the surgery, she replaced food with severe alcoholism and partying.
I thought Daryl would treat me better if I had the weight loss surgery. I was wrong. The day I came home from the hospital of having weight loss surgery, Daryl left me a Dear John letter and left. That was the end of me and Daryl, but I was losing weight. I lost about 150 pounds when I got my gastric bypass surgery, and I started partying.
A weekend bender ended in a blackout so severe that she lost track of her own children, leaving them alone and completely forgetting where they were. A lapse in judgment that resulted in permanent custody loss due to child endangerment charges. Decades later, trapped in a failing body and heavily reliant on an oxygen tank, Angela realized that she was on the brink of leaving her children, grandchildren, and Lacey behind. She even forced her adult son Christopher into the role of an enabler, dragging him to the grocery store where she would actively silence her son whenever he tried to speak up on her eating habits.
Don't say a word. I want some of the ones with chocolate and peanut butter.
I always get cupcakes and cookies. I want candy bars, and I always have some ice cream because I'm addicted to sweets.
The emotional toll on him was absolute, and he eventually reached the breaking point, explaining why he didn't speak on his mother's eating habits.
In the past, I would start kind of dogging my mom for eating so much all the time, but it reaches a point where you kind of give up on it. So I really don't complain too much anymore whenever we go grocery shopping, because I definitely do feel guilty if I argue with her about what she should eat.
Desperate for a second chance, she reached out to Dr. Now, but her own family refused to support her.
Mom.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Watching the girls play outside.
Oh, are you sure you guys can't help me?
Angel, we cannot do it. Your dad cannot travel. There's just no way.
I just don't know what I'm gonna do.
Talk to Donnie and Jane. Donnie said he would help you as much as he could.
Oh, let me call Jade.
Left with no other options, she convinced her ex-boyfriend Eric to drive her to Houston in the back of a minivan. But during her consultation, she was hit with a massive reality check. When Angela tried to blame her 608-pound frame on her lymphedema mass, Dr. Now immediately cut through her delusions, confronting her with a hard fact.
You just like eating log, feel sorry for yourself, and can't move. 3 different excuses that all have nothing to do with why you're over 600 pounds. Especially since lymphedema doesn't develop until you already gain significant amount of weight. So none of that make any sense. And, for your height, 608 is very dangerous weight.
Yes.
And you already had the weight loss surgery and nothing has worked and you haven't changed your eating habit. So we have really bad situation with you because the real answer to my question, why you're over 600, is that you've been hoping for some sort of magic solution. Why you keep doing whatever you want. And having failed weight loss surgery once already is a sign that you're likely going to continue that behavior.
Instead of taking accountability, she returned to Ohio and ghosted the clinic for months, and shamefully used her family as convenient excuses to avoid doing the work. The audience had zero patience for her using an 11-year-old as a shield to dodge accountability, as one Reddit user shared her thoughts on how bad she thought the situation Angela had put Lacey in. She's a thin girl and said, "I feel fat," when Angela asked her to shamefully check her salad dressing calories. Oh my God, I wanted to cry. There's so many things wrong with St. Angela taking her in, especially blaming the little girl for her not getting surgery. Irresponsible, selfish asshole. That guilt will forever weigh on that sweet little girl. When Dr. Now finally got her on the phone to dismantle her lies, Angela stubbornly played the victim. Refusing to face reality, she completely abandoned the program, choosing her delusions over actually putting in the effort to be there for her family.
You said you want me to come in a week, so when I come in a week and you see that I have lost 120 pounds, then you'll see that I am serious and I have been serious. I am not like others. I'm not coming because I'm not losing weight. So I hope that you see I'm not lying when I get there.
Now you're claiming you lost 120 pounds since I saw you. Last month it was 70 pounds, so you're saying you lost another 50 pounds since then?
Yes, sir.
Then how come you don't look like it and you're still on oxygen?
I don't know, sir, but I have been following my diet and I'm doing great.
In a warped sense of priority, she insisted she was putting Lacey first, celebrating their first time together by taking her to the very thing that had destroyed her own health in the first place, a trip for ice cream. But while Angela abandoned the program to retreat to her comfort zone, the next parent weaponized her extreme obesity to trap her entire family in her bizarre delusions. Appearing on Season 12, Episode 3, weighing close to 600 pounds, Petty Seeger was completely bedbound, and her husband Ed was forced to abandon his means of livelihood to become her full-time caregiver, while her young son Liam was essentially raised around his mother's mattress.
I help take care of my son, but it's here. If he refused to come into my bubble, then I wouldn't be able to help him.
Come on. I love you, Nugget. Love you.
Despite the severe physical neglect, Penny firmly believed that she was a great mother, even as Ed realized the horrifying reality of what her addiction was doing to their child.
Her weight has affected us in many ways. I have to go to all school functions. He's in Taekwondo, and she never actually seen him. I've had to videotape his classes for her.
She's a great mom, but you just can't be a good mom when you're in bed.
Penny's descent into the self-made prison started from a deeply traumatic childhood. She grew up watching her alcoholic father brutally beat her mother, bearing the brunt of the abuse as the oldest child and turning to food as her only source of comfort, as confirmed by her two sisters.
Some of it's her fault, some of it is, and I think a lot of it has to do with what she was exposed to with my dad. My dad was very abusive to my mom and to us some.
The abuse was something that no kid should have to watch your mom beaten. It wasn't every day, but it was every time he drank. Penny probably experienced a lot more of it than we did because she was the oldest.
She had to bear the brunt of a lot of what we had to go through.
By the time she married Ed and had Liam, the weight had completely consumed her. Because she was incredibly stubborn and aggressively demanding, Ed felt entirely trapped into enabling her, buying endless lists of chips, soda, and cake mix just to avoid her wrath.
Ed loves Penny, but Penny is very stubborn, and Ed does enable her. He buys whatever she tells him, and if he doesn't, he's gonna be in trouble.
Ed definitely does bring the food into the house, but I also believe that he doesn't have much choice.
Desperate to survive, Penny and Ed made the grueling road trip to Dr. Now's clinic in Texas. After initially losing just enough weight in the hospital to qualify for a gastric sleeve, Penny's true colors emerged the moment she woke up from surgery. She completely rejected the post-op diet, aggressively complaining that no one told her she would actually had to lose weight to be in the program.
You really don't need someone telling you right after surgery what you can and can't do. I can pretty much look at food and calculate exactly what the calories are. I know the percentages from fat I should be having. You have to make the decisions for yourself.
Sent back home, she absolutely refused to walk, convincing herself that she was permanently disabled. Even worse, she actively sabotaged her new stomach by demanding junk food with her husband, bizarrely claiming that deep frying her meals was actually a healthier option.
I don't know if I'm right or wrong because I'm not a doctor, but the deep frying, I felt that was healthier than us ordering out.
During a disastrous follow-up appointment, Dr. Now confronted her for gaining weight.
And you haven't lost any weight. You gained weight since the surgery, okay? You should be right now walking. You should be around 250 pounds.
I feel that the scales were wrong in the beginning and that I weighed more than what that was. I've been putting it all out there.
Look, Penny, quit crying because this is for your benefit, okay? You know how many people like you, I signed their death certificate, and later on I thought, what could I have done to get across to them? And I'm not getting across to you either.
And instead of taking accountability, Penny completely rejected reality, boldly claiming his scale was broken before offering up deeply uncomfortable, delusional proof of her supposed progress.
Penny,
I can reach my vagina and clean it myself. I couldn't do that 6 months ago.
what you're saying, it really make no sense, okay?
Then I'm going to have to just go home where I can try and get something else.
I don't think this conversation is getting anywhere.
And in a bid to try one last intervention, Dr. Now sent a nutritionist to her home. But Penny's arrogance only escalated.
What was your motivation for seeking out surgery?
I'm sorry, and you can take this route if you want, but I find that to be an asinine question.
When asked a basic standard question about her weight loss goals, she lashed out defensively.
Okay.
So like the motivation is obviously to lose weight and regain what it's to get back whatever you haven't had because of it.
Or do you have goals of meeting certain expectations that you may have?
Absolutely not. Will not do that. Will not do that.
Her absolute refusal to put in any physical effort meant that she remained glued to her mattress, sadly missing Liam's kindergarten graduation.
It's hard not to be there, but it's even harder when I say, I'm sorry I can't be there today. And he's like, oh, it's okay. I never want anyone to discount, well, you didn't get to do these things with your son, because the things that I've done with my son on a regular daily basis probably exceed what regular moms get to do that have to go out in the workforce. Still, there's things that all moms miss, but I'll be at his next event.
Yet, in a stunning display of mental gymnastics, she convinced herself that staying in bed all day actually made her a superior parent to mothers who worked.
It's hard because I'll be leaving to go see the award ceremony, and I'll be here. Could you bring me home an award and some pictures, okay?
I want it.
Who loves you?
You.
Liam, go get one and wait.
Viewers were frustrated by her logic, with one user brutally dissecting her entire parenting strategy and saying, "A walking mom might be at the store or in the other room when her son comes home from school. And when the kid will be traumatized because he doesn't know where mommy is, Liam always knows where mommy is. When he gets home, she's in the bed. If he wants a snack, she's in the bed. If he goes to play at someone's house and gets dropped off by their parents, she's in a bed. If he has a school play, no need to scan the crowd to see if mommy's made it on time, she's in the bed. If he goes for a bike ride and gets lost and needs someone to pick him up, she's in the bed. If he slips and falls and hurts himself and he needs someone to come help him, she's staying in that bed." Kids thrive on consistency and reliability, and Penny is nothing if not consistent. Heck, if she has a sour stomach and needs to evaluate her bowels in a hurry, doesn't matter. She's in the bed. In the end, Penny failed the program entirely, refusing to acknowledge her own self-destruction. She abandoned Dr. Now's guidance and retreated back to her bed, tragically content to let her husband and son continue sacrificing their lives just to keep her comfortable.
It's very difficult living in a world where I've given you my life and put you as my earthly God, and that's what I mean.
No matter what you say, the truth is in this gap. Okay?
I know.
But while Penny weaponized her obesity to remain bedbound and force her family to care for her, the next parent used her own children's severe medical struggles as the ultimate excuse to eat herself into an early grave. Appearing on Season 4, Episode 5, weighing 641 pounds, Dottie Perkins began every single day facing a grueling reality. Her extreme obesity made standing for even short periods almost impossible. Taking basic steps required immense focus just to avoid falling, and bathing involved sitting on the side of the tub for long stretches. She was utterly repulsed by the reality of her own body, adamantly refusing to let her husband help her clean herself because the mere thought of it made her physically sick.
I don't want to see what my body looks like or let anybody else see me naked. I'm just grotesque. I'm huge.
Despite these crippling physical limitations, Dottie had no choice but to push through the pain. She was the sole full-time caretaker for her two children. Landon was one, and Daniel, her 12-year-old son, who suffered from severe cerebral palsy.
It's okay. And they're my priority when I start each day.
And because Daniel required round-the-clock medical attention and her husband worked early hours, the heavy lifting of their survival fell entirely on her shoulders. Dottie's descent into extreme obesity was rooted in deep childhood neglect. Growing up in the shadow of a sister who was heavily favored by their mother for beauty pageants, Dottie felt abandoned and unloved. She turned to food as her only source of comfort, sneaking entire boxes of Girl Scout cookies into her bedroom.
That was my way of dealing with not having my mother around. She wanted to spend time with my sister, so me and my mom weren't really close.
Her addiction spiraled completely out of control after Daniel was born. Consumed by the constant terror of not knowing if her medically fragile son would survive the day, Dottie confined herself to the house, essentially living on a daily diet of fast food and pizza to cope with the trauma. Terrified that her failing body would soon leave her sons without a mother, Dottie and her husband made the trip to Houston. During her first appointment, Dr. Now confronted Dottie with the harsh reality that her extreme size was actively preventing her from being the caretaker her medically fragile children desperately needed.
Dottie's answer to why she gained weight is to tell me about her kids. They are her excuse to eat. Her situation at home is tough, but she can't use it as an excuse or she's gonna kill herself. So you're 34 years old?
Yes.
Okay. You think you're gonna make it to 40?
No.
The audience saw right through the martyr act as one viewer pointed out She always said she had to be the one to care for and watch over the kids 24/7. But to me, she started to use it more as an excuse. She does need to take care of her kids, but my issue with it is that if she doesn't take care of herself and make the changes needed to get healthy, who will be there for her kids when she dies young from obesity-related issues? Instead of stepping up for her family, Dottie returned for her follow-up, having lost a pathetic 6 pounds. Doctor now quickly realized she was deeply disconnected from reality, completely failing to grasp the high stakes for her children.
Okay, Daddy, your goal was to get under 600 pounds. You are at 635 pounds? So what's going on?
I don't know.
You don't know? Let's figure it out.
When she tried to lie and claim she was barely eating, he immediately debunked her delusions. Her choice to secretly consume thousands of calories a day was a direct decision to prioritize her food addiction over her kids' well-being.
What do you eat for lunch?
I mean, I'm not eating as much. I usually eat like a couple of boiled eggs.
That's it?
Yes, that's all I have time to eat.
For dinner?
For dinner, I ate a salad and I ate green beans.
Any snack in between?
No snacks in between.
From what you tell me, you should have lost
But
50
sometimes,
pounds.
but sometimes at night I eat like popcorn.
My concern is that Dottie does not understand how much she's eating. She justifies the food she wants, and she thinks what she's eating is normal.
To force a change, he ordered her into the hospital. But before she could check in, the ultimate consequence of her physical inability became clear. Her son Daniel was rushed to the ER and put on a breathing tube, exposing how her helpless state left her completely unable to protect or care for him when he needed her the most.
Until Daniel gets better, I can't worry about my weight. So the doctor is going to have to wait.
Trapped in the hospital room with her critically ill son and dealing with harsh criticism from her visiting sister, the intense stress caused her to abandon the program entirely, retreating to pizza and burgers.
I don't come over here as often because it's hard to come by and not be able to say something. And I know you gain weight. Is that true?
There's reasons behind the way things are.
Dottie, there's reason. I've got things that's went on in my life.
And you have different coping mechanisms than what I have. And that's the difference in us. You are not me. Instead of helping me, I feel like she just criticizes and judges me all the time. Oh, pizza too.
By the time she finally returned to Dr. Now months later, she had gained even more weight.
Okay, after your last visit, you didn't go to the hospital to be admitted because you had an emergency with your son, and I understand that. But that didn't mean that you had to gain 30 pounds over that time. You went 70 pounds in the wrong direction.
Desperate to save her life, he challenged her to show she was committed to changing.
Then it's time to prove it to me. You go into a hospital right now to be admitted and start your controlled diet. I get what you're dealing with at home, but the excuses have to stop now.
Realizing she could no longer use her children as an excuse to avoid saving her own life, Dottie finally surrendered. Luckily, she completed the supervised hospital stay, successfully earning her gastric sleeve surgery and broke her toxic cycle, losing over 135 pounds to ensure that she'd be there for the boys who needed her most. Every pound she lost meant more independence and time with her sons, and a better chance of being there for them in the years ahead. But while Dottie fought through the pain to keep taking care of her children, our next mother completely flipped the script. Instead of raising her 5-year-old son, she actually forced a kindergartner to become her full-time caregiver. Appearing on Season 4, Episode 7, weighing a staggering 725 pounds, Ashley Dunn lived in constant, excruciating physical agony. Walking just a few feet from her bed to her bathroom was a monumental struggle, leaving her terrified that her back was going to physically snap under her own weight. But the true tragedy of Ashley's condition wasn't just her own pain. It was the devastating toll her addiction took on her 5-year-old son, Patrick. Because her husband, Jacob, was a truck driver working up to 100 hours a week, Ashley was left home alone with her young child. Instead of playing with toys and experiencing a normal childhood, the 5-year-old boy was forced to become his mother's arms and legs.
He has to help me with just about every household chore. Without him, I'd be lost. Because I just can't do it on my own.
The internet did not hold back in dragging Ashley for treating her toddler like the live-in nurse he was to his mother. A Reddit comment showed that outrage they felt. Ashley, the little son Patrick, made me so furious. He was doing everything, including climbing into the top-loading laundry machine to unload wet clothes and cooking food. He was 5. And when he started going to school, she was like, I was worried because there wouldn't be anyone to take care of me if he went to school. Again, he's 5. Ashley completely parentified her kindergartner, relying on him to do the household laundry and even having him microwave their daily meals because she couldn't get to the appliances by herself.
It's hard for her to walk, so I do the stuff that she wants me to do every day.
Viewers were quick to call out the sheer absurdity of a kindergartner running the kitchen, as they bluntly put it, and microwaving hot dogs for mama. She couldn't even make the poor kid something decent to eat like she said. We eat whatever Michael can microwave easily, so it's usually hot dogs because he's still too small to use the stove. When I watched that, she had that 4-year-old little boy doing her chores, making her food. Total role reversal, and it was all he ever knew. She openly admitted her guilt, recognizing that she was robbing him of his childhood. But yet, she remained paralyzed by her food addiction.
It makes me feel guilty because he's 5. He should be playing with toys and watching TV. I should be taking care of him.
3, 0, 0.
Start. But he has to help me.
To Ashley, eating felt like a drug, providing a euphoric calm that washed away her reality. The desperate need to numb herself came from a horrific childhood. Raised by a drug-addicted mother who was rarely around, Ashley was left with a babysitter whose husband began sexually abusing her when she was just 6 years old. To protect her younger siblings from the same monster, Ashley silently endured the abuse, turning to food as her only safe haven. Her coping mechanism eventually spiraled out so far out of control that she became a prisoner in her own body, too terrified of public judgment to even walk into a grocery store.
I haven't been in a grocery store, or any store for that matter, in over a year because I can't stand or walk for too long without having to sit down. And I hate everyone staring at me like I'm some kind of freak. So I sat in the truck. And Jake and Patrick go in and get everything.
Realizing her failing body was going to leave Patrick without a mother, Ashley made the trip to Dr. Now's clinic. After stepping on the scale and seeing the horrifying number, Dr. Now delivered a brutal wake-up call, forcing Ashley to confront the grim reality of her situation while also turning his attention to her husband, helping fuel the problem.
At your weight, every part of your body is under strain just to function. And at this point, you're not going to make it much beyond 30. You both have to change down because you don't have any time left.
Given a strict goal to lose 50 pounds, Ashley finally took accountability. She pushed through her anxiety, dropped 60 pounds, and successfully earned her gastric bypass. But the mental battle was just the beginning. Stripped of food as her primary coping mechanism, Ashley's anxiety skyrocketed.
I turned to food for all my emotions. Now, that's not an option anymore. So, my anxiety levels are through the roof. I get overwhelmed. My heart starts racing. And I feel like I'm getting a panic attack or something. I don't know if I can do this. I just have to have a minute to myself. I'm literally shaking all over.
Desperate to numb her intense emotions, she began heavily abusing her prescription pain medication.
She's been dealing with a lot of anxiety now that her eating habit is limited. And as a result, she may be abusing her pain medication. That's never a good situation, but with a bypass, it's worse. Taking high doses of pain medication can do a lot of damage to her stomach. She could have perforated also.
This reckless substitution severely damaged her newly bypassed stomach, causing a life-threatening ulcer that forced Dr. Now to rush her into emergency surgery. Waking up in the hospital and realizing that she'd nearly thrown her second chance away, Ashley finally committed to seeing a therapist to confront her trauma. By facing her past head-on, she broke her destructive cycle. Thankfully, she lost over 250 pounds, finally reclaiming her life and stepping up to be the active, present mother Patrick deserved, and even going to the extent of personally surprising her husband Jacob on their fishing trip.
She's more happy than she's been in a really long time.
I'm having a bunch of fun catching fish with my mommy. Now that she's losing weight, we can go to aquariums together and to the zoo. I love my mom bunches and bunches.
But while Ashley finally faced her demons to free her young son from his caretaking duties, our next mother leaned right into the abuse, happily sacrificing her pregnant daughter's health just to protect her own vanity. Appearing on Season 7, Episode 19, weighing a massive 643 pounds, Angela was completely housebound, spending her days trapped inside a single room. The thing that made Angela's case stand out wasn't her weight, but the burden she placed on the people around her, especially her pregnant daughter, who would effectively become her full-time caretaker. Angela's primary caretaker was her daughter Desiree. Desiree was not only raising her own 3-year-old daughter Daisy, but she was also pregnant.
I get very frustrated with my mother sometimes because I take care of my own 3-year-old at the same time, and it gets to be a bit much. But I would never turn my back on her. I will be here because I know that she needs me.
Despite her daughter's vulnerable physical condition, Angela relentlessly demanded that Desiree do all the heavy lifting of the household. Desiree was forced to cook every meal, clean the house, and run to the grocery store when Angela's junk food supplies ran low. The most enraging part of this dynamic was that Angela actually had an able-bodied husband, Justin, living at home. And in a stunning display of pure selfishness, Angela explicitly refused to let Justin act as her caretaker simply because she was ashamed of her body and didn't want him to view her differently. To protect her own vanity, she happily sacrificed her pregnant daughter's physical and mental well-being, forcing her to wash and lift her heavy skin folds during exhausting daily showers. And for the viewers, this was all just a dynamic of pure, unadulterated selfishness, with one user pointing out Angela's ungratefulness and saying, "She is definitely one of the worst. It drives me crazy when someone on the show talks about how they do everything for everyone and no one ever helps them. Wow, wow, wow. It's like, 5 minutes ago when we saw your daughter showering you, no one does anything for you?" Sadly, Angela's toxic manipulation extended far beyond physical chores. She actively sabotaged her daughter's personal life. When Desiree's boyfriend Will rightfully stood up to Angela regarding her unacceptable behavior, Angela immediately weaponized her own impending death.
So I need to know if you're on board with going to Houston, because your boyfriend is giving me about it.
What'd he do?
So I think that he's mad from the other day when there was a conversation that if I was to look for a doctor in another area, he insinuated he didn't even want to come to Houston so I can get the help I need. So all I said was, how about get a life? And he jumps up, runs his mouth, comes out, says I'm a You think that's normal?
Throwing a massive pity party, she forced her deeply conflicted daughter to choose between the father of her unborn child and her mother's life.
So you want me to leave my boyfriend, move to Texas, and be okay with that?
Oh, here we go.
Right. I mean, how am I being
But your
dramatic?
boyfriend's not gonna be dramatic and call me a
And I haven't even got time to address anything. I've been...
Yeah, this is what I knew was gonna happen.
While the physical demands were shocking, it was this act of emotional sabotage that many viewers found absolutely irredeemable, with one viewer saying, "Later, her daughter brings up, what if I made you choose between me and your husband?" And Angie says, "I wouldn't even drop a tear for that choice." But then later that same episode, she gets back with her husband and mentions her daughter hates him and doesn't want to be around him. Hypocrite.
It's never about me. It's never been about me. Ever. You guys have lived with me forever. I take care of you. I ask for one thing. One thing.
It's not my fault. Will
And
said
it
some
can't
stupid...
be something simple. I can't rely on nobody, but everybody
I'm not
relies on me.
saying I'm not
I'm
going.
tired. I'm tired. I can't believe this is happening. For me to have to convince my daughter to do this to save her mother's life just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm really hurt by that.
Angela's extreme narcissism was rooted in a highly chaotic and traumatic past of abuse and degeneracy.
When I was a child, my life was hard. My mom was an alcoholic and my father was a drug addict. And my father was abusive physically to my mother. So I felt abandoned most of the time because of my parents' alcohol, drug abuse, and neglect. They just weren't present. And when I was 8 years old, I was sexually abused by a family friend. When I finally came out about it, my mom didn't defend me, so I felt unprotected. by people who were supposed to protect me.
But rather than using this trauma to break the cycle, Angela simply became the abuser. Her toxic behavior was put on full display during the family's 20-hour road trip to Texas, when her husband, who was doing all the driving to help save her life, refused to go to a store she wanted to stop at. Angela unleashed a torrent of vile and unhinged verbal abuse.
Is it comfortable?
Sure is.
Okay, so plan. Well, me and Desiree already kind of have a little bit of a plan. I'm gonna find out a store for you. You can go to the store.
Well, you better make sure it's close to here, because I'm not getting lost in here. And I ain't see nothing close.
Okay, first of all, you can go cussing at me. That's where we can start at. You can go cussing at me. Secondly, I'm gonna Google for a store, and you're gonna go to the store.
If it's not close, I'm not going.
What are we supposed to eat?
The store, so I
Einstein?
can see how far it is and where I gotta go.
No, it's your point of your attitude. You've had an attitude since we left home, and you can go back home and I have my brother come here. Believe that.
Ain't nobody had an attitude
And
since
get your and go to your mama's house, because I'm sick of your attitude. I don't want you and I don't need you.
When she finally made it to Dr. Now's clinic for her first appointment, sure enough, she immediately tried to play the victim.
He eats more than both of us.
He eats more than both of you.
Absolutely.
That's physically impossible. So we got some serious issues with delusion with you all.
She bizarrely claimed that she didn't actually eat that much and just had a few bad habits at night. And Dr. Now exposed the flaw in her story, explaining that a 643-pound frame simply isn't possible without consuming massive amounts of food each day.
Angie, you can lie all you want, but this is all science and math. And it's a big part of the problem we're facing here is that you seem like a master manipulator who thinks she can just decide what the facts are she wants to believe and just tell everyone else what to think. So if you're here to just play games, then this is not going to end well for you because you realize that this is a dangerous situation when you're 39 and you are 643 pounds.
And even worse, when Dr. Now shifted the conversation to how her eating habits were negatively influencing her pregnant daughter.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an emotional eater, because I don't think that I am. I eat at bad times. I don't eat during the morning and afternoon because I drink coffee, which suppresses my appetite. I eat at night, and then I go to bed. I eat a lot at night because I'm hungry from not eating all day, and then I overeat.
The only accurate thing you said was that you eat a lot. But what you're leaving out is that it's all day long. So don't try to convince me you're just eating once a day, because I'm not buying it.
Okay.
But if you have trouble getting around, then who brings you the food?
My husband, and her does.
Okay. It seems your weight gain is affecting your daughter, so there is a mutual benefit because your daughter's is also some weight problem, huh?
Yeah.
So if she brings you unhealthy food, she can eat it too.
Yeah.
Angela completely deflected. Instead of taking an ounce of accountability, she aggressively threw her own child under the bus.
She eats the same food as me, so I'm worried. I tell her all the time, when you get to this age, it's harder to lose weight and you're a lot more things are gonna happen, because I was her weight when I was actually a little lighter than her when I was her age, to be honest. And it's here now. I tell her all the time, it's gonna happen if it doesn't change. And she's pregnant, so it's gonna make her weight gain even worse.
She even attempted to derail the doctor's assessment entirely by suddenly tattling on her daughter's smoking habit.
And on top of that, she smokes too.
We all smoke.
Pregnant lady doesn't smoke as much as pregnant
This
lady
is
used to
the
smoke.
most dangerous thing for your child.
I know.
Mother smoking. You have to stop that immediately. Do you got that?
All right.
Driven by sheer entitlement, Angela also refused to accept that she actually had to put in the work.
But here's the thing. Coming here next month, well, I was just kind of hoping that I'm going to be in your program so that I can just go ahead and continue with my plans of leaving and coming here.
If you want to do my program, you're gonna have to be here in Houston. So you can move down to Houston anytime you want to.
Okay.
But until you show me you're willing to take this first step and put forth some effort, there's no guarantee you're gonna be part of the program. So that's the risk you take. And what we do from here all depends on you.
After being given a strict 1,200-calorie diet and a 50-pound weight loss goal, Angela spent the next 8 months dodging appointments and making excuses. She even kicked Justin out of the house and then later proceeded to take him back, all the while constantly claiming that she was practically starving herself.
So you're aware if you leave or you don't follow through with the things that you said you will, we are getting a divorce.
Yes, I do.
like divorced. Done.
Yeah.
No more chances. This is it.
I'm ready to do this.
I'm from a show me state, so you have to show me better than you can tell me anyways.
Her attitude only got worse when she finally convinced Justin and her best friend to help relocate to Houston so they could be closer to Dr. Now's clinic. But another problem quickly emerged. After uprooting their entire lives and driving across the country for her, Angela and Justin were met with yet another crisis.
I'm pissed off. I feel like I've been lied to, and we have serious, serious problems right now. Because there's no way I'm living here. This bathroom joke.
Look at the bathroom door.
Because the bathroom layout wasn't perfectly suited to her massive size, Angela threw a childish tantrum, completely dismissing their sacrifices and threatening to abandon the entire journey right then and there.
It looks like our only option is to sleep in a hotel tonight because we're not moving in here. So all I know is someone better fix it and fix it fast. And if not, then we may have no other option than going back to Ohio and missing a chance to save my life all because I was lied to. And that's like murder as far as I'm concerned.
Shortly after moving in, Dr. Now forced her to come back to the clinic for a follow-up, where the scale proved that she'd actually gained 5 pounds. Most people would have viewed the setback as a wake-up call. Claiming that the doctor had treated her unfairly and owed her an apology, she abandoned the program and headed back to Ohio, completely convinced that she had won the moral high ground. But while Angela used emotional blackmail to trap her pregnant daughter into a lifetime of caretaking, our next mother forced her fiercely devoted daughter to endure unimaginable physical horrors, a nightmare of an existence that ultimately pushed her to fake a suicide threat just to escape Dr. Now's program. Appearing on Season 6, Episode 7, weighing 704 pounds, Lisa Fleming was completely bedbound and unable to care for herself.
1, 2, 3.
Every day, her daughter Danielle was responsible for bathing her, and her grandson, Danielle's teenage child, helping to clean her, taking away his freedom to be a normal child.
Ow! Ow! A month ago, I started feeling sick and my leg was really bothering me. I kept saying, my leg is hurting bad. And when Danielle pulled open the folds of my skin, she found little maggots on there. So now she has to check my leg every day.
An embarrassing process that neither of them could escape. Despite the physical toll, Danielle remained fiercely devoted, insisting that she would continue helping no matter what.
Taking care of my mom is exhausting. I don't want this to get any worse. But I wouldn't say I resent the things that I have to do for my mom because you only get one mom, so.
Her condition had deteriorated so badly that her daughter Danielle once made a disgusting discovery on her legs. Viewers were stunned that even physical decay wasn't enough to break her denial, with one Reddit user saying, "What astounded me about Lisa was the maggots. I don't know how far gone you have to be to find maggots in the folds of your own skin and not have that shock you into action, to not have that be enough of a wake-up call for you to get your shit together." Lisa's relationship with food had been shaped from childhood. She explained that her mother showed affection through meals rather than emotional support, helping create habits that would follow her for the rest of her life. By this point, food controlled nearly every aspect of Lisa's day.
Food plays a major role in my life. If I'm mad, if I'm depressed, if I get agitated, I want to eat.
She'd be eating up to 6 meals daily, while much of the family's routine revolved around preparing food and caring for her needs. The isolation was impossible to ignore. Lisa ate alone in bed while the rest of the family gathered elsewhere. Watching her mother eat herself deeper into immobility, Danielle could only hope that one day, Lisa would decide enough was enough.
I wish my mom would make better choices to save her life and to get up and just help me help her.
Determined to help and tired of their dynamic, Danielle was the one who found Dr. Now's program and helped arrange Lisa's first consultation. During the video call, she even showed Dr. Now the severe lymphedema in Lisa's leg so he could understand just how serious the situation had become. When Dr. Now prescribed a strict low-carb, no-sugar diet, he made it clear that Danielle would have to help enforce it since Lisa had made her the primary enabler.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi.
I need you to do something for me, okay? Your mom is immobile, so she can only eat what you bring her. So I want you to look at the diet that I'm sending and be strict with it.
Okay.
Don't bring her anything she's not supposed to have, no matter what.
Yes, sir.
She immediately took the job seriously, even taking a soda out of Lisa's hand when it violated the plan immediately after the call, showing how bad Danielle wanted to lose her role.
So when I'm supposed to start this diet?
Tonight.
Go away. Let me have my Coke. Bye. Open it.
The doctor said you can't have carbonated drinks.
Hey, you said my diet start tonight. I want to finish drinking my drink.
Well, it starts now.
Fans quickly noticed how rare it was to see a relative actually stand their ground against the addiction. As one viewer said, "I feel bad for Dada. She was one of the only family members on the show that actually tried to help her and not enable her." But changing decades of habits proved difficult. Even after starting the program, Lisa remained heavily dependent on those around her for basic tasks, while food continued finding its way into her daily routine through her other daughter, Misha.
This is real last minute. Can I have a little bowl of Fruit Loops?
When she finally arrived in Houston, the scale revealed she weighed over 704 pounds, and Dr. Now quickly concluded that she had not been following the diet as instructed.
Even if all your tests come back okay today, you're gonna have to lose this weight because you're in a very dangerous situation right now.
With Danielle back in Alabama pursuing her dream teaching job, Lisa's boyfriend Herbert became her primary caregiver. Unlike Danielle, however, Herbert struggled to set boundaries.
He's not as tough on me as Danielle is about this diet, and that's nice. And now that Herbert's here to shop for me, I can have a little more say in what I get to eat. So at least I can get back to eating foods that taste good.
A visit from the dietitian exposed exactly why Lisa's progress had stalled.
So let's see what's going on here. All right. So there's pudding, and there's bread. I'm definitely not a white bread fan.
Neither am I. That's Herbert is the bread fan.
And there's pizza rolls.
He's the pizza roll fan.
Let's see. Now, I also see a giant box of donuts. Who's eating that? I didn't even see that.
That's Herbert breakfast.
And I know that Herbert is not eating that by himself.
Yes, he is, because I'm pickier of donuts.
Hidden unhealthy food was discovered in her fridge, with Lisa initially blaming Herbert before eventually admitting the food was hers.
Okay, so who's eating the double cookies and cream and lasagna?
Let me see, because I didn't know Herbert went to the store today.
Okay, Lisa, I can tell you that if Herbert's eating this, you're eating it too.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm trying to get to. Remember, you don't have to be honest with me. You have to be honest with you, because this is about you.
Yes.
You cannot lose weight if you are eating these foods.
Believing the threat had been used to manipulate the situation, Dr. Now decided he could no longer continue treating her.
Okay, here's the situation. So we have your full psychiatric evaluation, and they determined that you're not suicidal. But you already know that, right? That was designed to attempt to manipulate us. But it didn't work. So it's clear to us you have no desire to change. And you have no respect for the program or the care and tools you have been given. So as of right now, you're no longer on the program. So I'm going to discharge you to go home.
Things kept going downhill until Danielle finally arrived with her family to visit. Lisa admitted that she'd given up. She left the program without receiving weight loss surgery, ending one of the most turbulent patient journeys Dr. Now had ever faced. Appearing on Season 4, Episode 10, weighing a staggering 750 pounds, Mila Clark had been helplessly trapped within the four walls of her bedroom for over 2 years. Her husband Elroy suffered from severe medical issues of his own, leaving him entirely unable to care for his bedbound wife. And because of this, the immense and inappropriate burden of Mila's daily survival fell completely onto the shoulders of her 5 children, her eldest biological son Esau, and 4 younger adopted siblings. with the prime caregivers being Hannah and Jacob. Every single morning before sunrise, kids were forced to line up and bathe their mother to prevent deadly skin infections. The routine was incredibly grueling and entirely robbed them of their childhood.
Have to clean me everywhere so I don't develop any infections. And while Hannah is washing my private parts, Jacob is usually holding my lipedema.
The heavy weight of parentification was taking a severe mental toll on the teenagers. Hannah was very honest about the emotional impact her mother's condition was having on her.
I'm depressed, like real depressed that she can't get out of bed. And I do have a lot of responsibility. Sometimes I feel like it's too much.
Viewers who grew up in similar environments were quick to point out the permanent damage of this dynamic. I love my mom too, but it didn't stop me from getting a personality disorder and a lifelong mental issue from her parentification and abuse. Kids are not fit to be caretakers. End of story. Jacob echoed that same sadness, his core motivation being purely out of love and fear of losing her.
It's hard to have to help clean my mom up every day, but I love her, and I just want her to be okay.
Her eldest son became the head of the house, managing the heavy adult responsibilities that Mila and her husband could no longer handle.
I'm the person that takes care of everyone in the house, you know. I'm the oldest son. Makes me sad because I know if my mom sits in the bed for that long and if she didn't get the help that she's getting, she'll die in the bed, you know.
The audience was completely baffled by how the state allowed this household to exist in the first place, with one viewer stating, "They had no choice. Of course, they loved her. She adopted them. They had nowhere else to go and no chance for a real childhood this way because they had to be caretakers. I don't get that addicted bedbound people are allowed to adopt kids and use them as cheap caretakers." Despite knowing she was hurting them, Mila couldn't stop eating. Mila's lifelong addiction to food stemmed from a painful childhood where her mother was emotionally distant. She would exclusively use food to show affection rather than offering hugs or saying she loved them. And now the same affection was destroying her own family. Her children were forced to do all the grocery shopping, buying massive amounts of junk food out of a misguided obligation to keep their mother happy and satisfy her endless cravings. Even rare, wholesome family moments were constantly interrupted by the harsh reality of her physical state, like when she would suddenly have to pee.
When I'm eating what I crave, it is such an incredible feeling. And I'm happy. But then I start to come down from it. And I come back to reality and need the kids to help me again.
Her food demands were relentless. She would aggressively order her eldest son to drop whatever he was doing to go pick up pizza for her, despite him being overly reluctant.
Esau, will you pick this pizza for me? Why?
Cause, Mom, you already know, Mom. Why do you do that?
Go and pick up my pizza right now.
I think I'll let you know.
No, right now. Go get the pizza right now.
The constant binge eating terrified him. Breaking down in tears, he confessed his greatest fear was that his mother was going to die in that bed, leaving him to raise his younger adopted siblings completely alone before he was even ready.
She wants me to take care of the kids. None of us wants to lose our parents, and it really hurts to know that they don't get the help they get. They will pass, and we don't want to lose them.
Realizing her children deserved a real mother, Mila and her family finally decided to see Dr. Now. The journey was agonizing, and at one point, a frightening moment on the highway nearly brought the entire trip to a halt.
My leg! My leg! My leg! Sorry, did I hurt my baby? Did I hurt my baby? Did I hurt you? Oh my God. I hurt my baby's leg. Did I hurt you, Mommy? I'm sorry, baby. Mama's sorry. I don't think he even saw me. We need to get out the street. Call Esau and them and tell them to pull over wherever they're on the side of the road.
Arriving at the hospital, Dr. Now immediately identified that her children were enabling her out of pure love.
Mila's dynamic at home is concerning to me. She has a lot of young kids that bring her food. At their age, they don't know any better. So Mila has created a very bad situation for herself.
And before she could go home, he even made sure that a nutritionist sat down with the kids to teach them how to safely say no to her dangerous habits.
We gotta get rid of the junk food. We gotta get rid of all that from the house. No soda, no potatoes, no starches. If y'all go out and get something, don't bring it back and be eating it in front of her. It's just gonna make her want it.
Taking the lesson to heart, the family implemented strict boundaries, and they even began eating their meals at the dining table, leaving Mila in her bedroom with her healthy portions so she wouldn't be tempted to steal their food. And soon after, with her family's support, She started doing bed exercises with the kids to regain her strength.
Since Mom has been home from the hospital, we help her work out every day. I'm proud of her, of the commitment she's putting forth. I'm pretty excited about it.
After successfully losing enough weight in the hospital, doctor now surgically removed her lap band and chopped away the massive 42-pound lymphedema that had been anchoring her to that mattress. Yet even with her physical barrier gone, the habits of her lifestyle remained entirely unbroken. During her second attempt to stand, Mila completely folded under the pressure as well, insisting that her weakened legs were going to collapse beneath her.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
It took being rolled outside in a wheelchair and watching her children play without her for the reality of what she'd been missing to finally sink in. And she finally pushed past the lifetime of self-pity and stood up on her own 2 feet, forcing her weight onto the scale for the first time in years. After losing 150 pounds, weighing in at exactly 600 pounds, she successfully earned her bypass surgery, finally dropping the excuses and taking the first real step toward giving her children the present mother they'd been denied for years. But while Mila fought through her crushing fears to free her children from the burden of her care, the next father was perfectly content to let his teenage daughter sacrifice her entire childhood just to feed his deadly addiction. Appearing on Season 5, Episode 11, weighing at a heavy 791 pounds, James King lived in a state of absolute misery. His massive weight had caused his legs to develop severe weeping cellulitis. His skin was constantly leaking fluid, and every time it drained, the way he described it paints a horrifying picture of what he was forced to endure.
Because I have cellulitis draining out of both legs so bad that I have fluid coming out all over.
Sorry.
And every time my legs strain, it's like I'm getting stung by a wasp or something.
Unable to perform even the most basic human functions, James relied entirely on his girlfriend Lisa and his teenage daughter Bailey.
I just can't do anything for myself anymore. So I got to depend completely on my girlfriend Lisa or my daughter Bailey to help me out.
You got gloves, Bailey? All right, lift with your legs, honey.
In a horrific display of parental neglect, Bailey was completely pulled out of school just so she could stay home, empty her father's catheter, and endure the traumatizing task of washing his infected skin folds.
My mom pulled me out of school because I have to help with my dad. I don't feel like that I should have to be a caretaker to my dad because a father is supposed to protect and take care of his daughter.
Just in case.
But it's my dad, and I'm not gonna let him just lay there.
Viewers were absolutely repulsed by the toll this took on a literal child, with one user accurately summarizing the grim reality of her daily life and saying, "Denying Bailey an education was bad enough, but having her clean her naked father's behind and genitals has got to count as some form of sexual abuse, right? It's absolutely despicable." She tearfully confessed that she was terrified he was going to lose everything, openly admitting a painful fact.
Sometimes it feels like my dad cares more about the food than it does his own family. And the path that my dad is on right now is headed towards death. There's nowhere else it could be headed towards.
Don't eat too much and get sick.
And she was exactly right. Lisa was a massive enabler, completely prioritizing James's bottomless appetite over her daughter's well-being. She regularly served him unhealthy breakfast consisting of 6 eggs, 5 pieces of sausage, and 4 biscuits, all drenched in heavy gravy. When Bailey rightfully pointed out that he didn't need that much food, Lisa immediately shut her down.
I've got you 6 eggs and about 5 or 6 pieces of sausage. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Mom, he really doesn't need that much, seriously.
That's what it takes to make him full. So.
She enabled his toxic anger, telling Bailey not to worry about it, leaving the young girl feeling completely defeated and deeply frustrated by the endless cycle of abuse.
I always feel guilty because we just keep giving food to him.
It looks good, baby.
When I tell him he doesn't need it, he'll get mad and he'll yell. It makes me angry and sad at the same time. I'm so frustrated.
Lisa's enabling knew no bounds. After spending all day physically exhausting herself by cleaning him, she would go out and buy him massive bags of fast food, feeding him burger after burger while he lay helplessly in bed. James's path to becoming bedbound began in a childhood burdened by poverty after his father remarried, expanding the household to 8 people. and stretching the family's resources.
Early on in my childhood, I have a lot of good memories of me and my older brother having fun. And I was maybe a little chubby, but I really didn't struggle with my weight. Things were pretty good. But my dad took me and my brother because my mother drank a lot, so my dad's the one that raised us. And I only saw my mom 3 times during my childhood, and she was drunk every time. So my dad took care of us, and things were good until he met my stepmom Lolita and got remarried.
James was a good boy, a good child. But raising James and his brother was real difficult because, you can't hardly be a mother and a father both, It was rough.
She had 4 kids of her own already, so all of a sudden we were a family of 8. But my dad didn't make enough to provide for a family that big. And we went from having what we needed to being really poor. And I never knew if we were gonna have enough to eat. So I just started to eat much as I could when I got the chance. And I remember the joy and safety there was in food. So I started gaining some. And I was around 250 when I started high school. But things got really bad when I was 15.
His mobility ended at age 42 when he suffered a severe fall, heavily damaging his ankle and trapping him in bed forever.
But things got worse when I was 42 because I fell. And I was so big, the fire department had to come and get me up. It was one of the lowest moments in my life. And I hurt my ankle really bad and I had to stay in the bed and rest. But I'm not even sure if it ever healed because that's the last time I put weight on it. And that's when I became bedbound. And now I'm not sure how big I am. All I know is I'm stuck in this bed every day.
Desperate for Dr. Now's help, but unable to fit in a standard vehicle, James's elderly father was forced to refinance his own home just to afford a private medical transport.
I was speechless. He has always been there for me, even when I can't give that back to him. So everyone is coming over to help us pack tonight because my medical transport is coming in the morning. I am nervous, but I'm excited at the same time because this is a big change in my life.
Looking back on the episode, audiences had zero sympathy for how much James took from the people around him, with one viewer saying, "His dad refinanced his house, and he just squandered all of it for some egg rolls." The extraction was a nightmare, with James screaming in agony as emergency crews struggled to force his massive frame out the door.
Man, I'm hurting so bad.
Hug yourself, we're coming out.
They can't let my legs go.
Don't let them. They got you, baby. Baby, they got you.
No! Oh, my legs! Oh.
Keep your hands in, James.
Don't drop me! Don't drop me! Don't drop me!
It's okay.
Calm down.
No!
It's okay.
I'm falling off the stretcher.
No, you're not. It's okay.
I'm falling off.
Stay beside him,
You're not
baby.
falling off, buddy. You're not falling off.
Yes, I am.
It's okay.
Oh, my legs. Oh.
When he finally arrived in Houston, Dr. Now instantly saw through the family's toxic dynamic. Realizing James hadn't lost a single pound since their conference call, the doctor bypassed James entirely and immediately chewed Lisa out, correctly identifying her as the one actively killing him.
Let me explain the situation to you. James is not going to survive much longer, and since I've been working with you two, he's not lost any weight and he's worse off now.
We're gonna just have to stick to the plan of making the change, of going to the
There is no
protein
we,
and the
it's you.
Well,
There's no we, it's you.
Right.
You are bringing the food, you're helping him to kill him. So why are you doing that?
Because if I don't bring it to him, I will pay hell all the rest of the day.
How the hell is he gonna raise the hell in the bed?
If we don't give him what he
He
wants.
can scream all he wants to. Don't tell me that. You are the one that you got him in this bed, and you're the one making his life miserable right now.
I've been trying to get him out of that bed.
No, you are not.
Shortly after moving to their new Houston apartment with the sole purpose of losing weight, James suffered severe chest pains and was rushed to the hospital for heart failure.
My chest is killing me, and I feel like this is it. I've only cheated a couple times, so I don't know what the problem is. I thought I was doing better. I just really hope that I'm not out of time.
At the very moment he was discharged, instead of waking up to reality, he immediately demanded that Lisa order him a massive plate of Chinese food and egg rolls.
I don't want that. I'm tired of the same stuff.
Since I don't have a way to get anything, I don't know what we can order that's gonna be healthy. You don't want fish or shrimp?
No, I don't want that. Order me Chinese. Egg rolls and rice, fried rice.
I don't know about the rice, though.
That's what I want, though.
But rice is on that paper that we're not supposed to have.
It's fried.
It's still rice. Fried is
Well,
worse.
that's what I want. I'm tired of fish and chicken, Lisa. I'm sick of it.
I'll get my phone and see if we can get it delivered.
With all the stress, we've ordered out a few times.
When Dr. Now finally sent a nurse to weigh him, the results were catastrophic. Instead of losing weight, James had gained in just a few months.
382.6 kilograms, 840 pounds.
Oh my gosh. No way this is possible. Something is wrong. She's not reading it right or something. Are you sure that's accurate?
Yeah, on the bed scale.
I can't believe I've gained that much weight.
Still unwilling to accept that he was the problem, James pointed the finger everywhere but at himself.
The scale has to be wrong or something. I've been working at this for like 7 months. Time to get your lecture, so get ready to buckle down.
Okay, well, we cheated because we had the van messed up.
And the list of things he blamed for his weight gain only grew more unbelievable as time went on.
Are you telling me that's a start? What did that have to do with your eating habit? You should have Ross right now. He's
I asked
600
for a
pounds.
nutritionist when I first got here, too, and I didn't get it.
James, this is ridiculous. What nutrition you need except the instruction that I gave you that
Because I'm
works?
having-
Everybody else can follow them except you.
I had to retrain my body from eating cheeseburgers.
You gained 100 pounds and you're saying it's not your fault? That you needed to retrain your body? Seriously? You're eating yourself to death and you don't want to quit that. And that's your responsibility. Nobody else is in here. You got yourself in this bed.
And sadly, after realizing that neither James nor Lisa had any intention of changing, Dr. Now officially kicked him out of the program to save his own resources.
I think the best thing for you is to go back to Kentucky.
He is trying now, and I swear to you, doctor, he has not cheated at all. He's going to lose this weight.
I don't want to hear any more excuses. I'm done. If you want to be considered at all ever again, when you show up, you need to be under 600 pounds.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Tragically, James's unwillingness to break his addiction ultimately sealed his fate. He never managed to turn his life around, and he sadly passed away in April 2020 at the age of 49, as confirmed by his online obituary.